to learn, especially if you're dating in your 30s, 40s, or 50s. All divorced women were married to abusive narcissists. This is their default post-divorce setting. What do you think she's going to say? Really, it was my fault. I should have been a better wife. Ignore her rationale and keep qualifying her. Just understand that other than a handful that and I mean like 2 or 3, this is like, you can stamp it. Every girl that's been divorced ever was married to a narcissist. They don't know what narcissist means. They don't know what the definition of it is. It's just something kind of like, I want a guy that makes $250,000. They don't know what it is. They have no concept of money, but they've heard it. One of their girlfriends said it. So they repeat it thinking it sounds good. And I was married to a narcissist. And then the abusive is usually separate. He was abusive. Well, what did he hit you? No, he raised his voice. You know, there's different levels of abuse. And I'm not negating any of this. I'm just saying that it's good to clarify. And you don't have to be skeptical or anything, or like shit on their story, but you should get some clarity, because like we think of abuse, we think like black eye or being thrown downstairs, or, you know, physically abusive. And it's good to get clarification on what these words mean to a lot of people. But you're going to hear the word narcissist literally 99% of the time. Just go ahead and gloss right over it. Just don't even react. Just keep on trucking through the conversation, because it's something that they've heard. And it's literally universal. I've known maybe 3 girls that didn't use the phrase at least once, maybe 2. And for whatever reason, and it may just not be a word that they use, or they never felt that way about it. But that's the real deal. So don't put any weight on it until you have more information. I mean, there really are narcissistic men out there. Make no mistake, women love them. But is that the reason for the divorce? That's questionable. So all divorced women were married to a narcissist. She'll usually follow up later in the conversation about how abusive he was. This is their default post-divorce setting. Because like we say, what do you think she's going to say? Really, it was my fault. I should have been a better wife. You're not going to hear that. It's just not going to happen. Ignore her rationale and keep qualifying her. This is one of those things where you have to kind of, and I know this sounds kind of crazy because we're always like, if you want to kind of like be around quality women, you have to qualify. This is one of those things that you need to like box up, and you can set it over here, because it's kind of a mess no matter what. So girls have trouble like conveying what's really going on. So especially if you're kind of like new with her, take anything she says about her divorce, unless she just goes on and it gets kind of crazy. You can box it up. He's an abusive narcissist, and move it over here, and then focus in on the other stuff. Just know that that'll come back around most of the time. And you're going to see this too. There's a lot of alcohol involved. Almost, you know, every girl that I've ever gone out with has had an alcoholic boyfriend, father, husband, long-term boyfriend, baby daddy. There's so many alcoholics out there. It's hard for a girl to date more than 2 or 3 people and not come across one that the alcoholism doesn't affect their life negatively. So 2 things. That's why I tell guys to be careful about your drinking, especially in the beginning. And 2, remember that may be something you don't mention right off the bat, but there's a lot of like alcohol involved in a lot of these bad decisions all these people are making. So abusive narcissist is 100% guaranteed going to come out of their mouth. They don't necessarily know what it means. So you box it up, set it to the side, and then address it at a different time when you have more information. And that's how you deal with that. And you're going to deal with it 100%.